You don't just wake up one day looking older. It happens slowly, silently, through the habits you repeat every single day. The worst part, most people don't even realize they're making mistakes that are aging them faster than time itself. By the time they see the damage, it's already too late. But it doesn't have to be this way. Today, I'm going to expose 6 ugly aging habits that are stealing your youth, draining your energy, and making you look and feel older than you actually are. And more importantly, I'll show you exactly how to fix them before it's too late. Most people don't realize just how much control they have over how they age because they believe aging is something that just happens to them, something they have no power over, something written in their genetics that they can't fight against no matter what they do. But that belief is one of the most dangerous lies a person can accept because in reality, every single day, with the choices you make, with the habits you build, with the things you prioritize or neglect, you are either accelerating the aging process or actively slowing it down and keeping yourself strong, sharp, and full of life. And the hard truth is, most people are unknowingly making the wrong choices, engaging in destructive behaviors that strip them of their vitality, their confidence, their energy, and their ability to move through the world with the strength and clarity they once had. And by the time they notice the damage, by the time they look in the mirror and see a version of themselves they don't recognize, by the time they feel weak and exhausted and realize they aren't the person they used to be, it's already too late to undo what they've done. You see this everywhere in people who have let time take control instead of taking control of time, in people who have surrendered to aging long before they needed to, in people who look decades older than they really are simply because they've adopted habits that are silently, slowly breaking them down. You see men in their 30s who already walk with poor posture, with low energy, with an attitude of defeat, as if they've given up on life before they even had the chance to truly live it. You see women in their 40s who feel invisible, drained, stuck in routines that make them feel lifeless, burdened by stress, unable to find the spark they once had, resigned to a version of themselves they never imagined they'd become. You see people in their 50s and 60s who wake up one day and suddenly realize that decades have passed in the blink of an eye, that their bodies are no longer capable of doing what they once did effortlessly, that their minds feel slower, foggier, more disconnected from the world, and they wonder, how did this happen? When did I get so old? Where did all that time go? They don't feel like themselves anymore. They don't recognize the person staring back at them in the mirror, and they think, maybe this is just how aging works. Maybe this is just inevitable, but it's not. Aging isn't just about getting older, about the number of years you've lived. It's about how you live. It's about the daily choices that either keep you vibrant, alive, engaged, and full of strength, or the ones that slowly, silently take everything away from you. The habits you've built, those little things you do every single day, the routines you follow without thinking, the ways you treat your body and mind, are either keeping you youthful and resilient, or they're accelerating your decline. Most people don't even realize the damage they are doing until it's too late. They don't realize how much of their power they are giving up, how much they are sabotaging themselves, how much they are voluntarily surrendering to weakness, to exhaustion, to stress, to premature aging, to a life that feels less and less like their own. One of the biggest mistakes people make, one of the most destructive things they do to themselves, is neglecting their physical body, treating it as an afterthought, something they'll take care of later, when they have more time, more energy, more motivation. They sit for hours every single day, trapped in the comfort of convenience, weakening their muscles, damaging their joints, letting their posture collapse, letting their body deteriorate without even noticing what's happening. They tell themselves they'll get back to exercise someday, but someday never comes because they're always too busy, too tired, too distracted by other things that feel more urgent in the moment. And before they know it, their body has given up on them. Their strength is gone. Their flexibility is gone. Their endurance is gone. And they don't just look older. They feel older in every possible way. They move slower. They lose the ability to do basic things without pain. And when they try to fix it, when they finally wake up and realize they can't keep living like this, they find that it's not so easy to reverse years or even decades of neglect. But the truth is, it didn't happen overnight. It It happened gradually in small, seemingly insignificant ways, in every skipped workout, in every moment of laziness, in every excuse they made. But here's the good news. It's never too late to change. Strength can be rebuilt. Mobility can be restored. The human body is incredibly adaptable, designed for movement, for power, for resilience, and it will respond to what you demand of it. But only if you stop making excuses, stop avoiding the discomfort of growth, stop accepting weakness as a natural part of aging. Because it's not. Then there's the way people treat their minds, the way they let themselves decay mentally long before their body shows signs of aging, the way they stop challenging themselves intellectually and let their brains go on autopilot. It's shocking how many people just stop learning after a certain age, how many people settle into routines that keep them stuck, how many people repeat the same thoughts, the same beliefs, the same limited worldview for years, even decades. They stop engaging with new ideas. They stop asking questions. They stop exposing themselves to challenges that push their mind beyond its comfort zone. And the result? They become dull, slow, uninspired. You see this in people who become rigid in their thinking, who resist anything unfamiliar, who close themselves off from the world and convince themselves they already know everything they need to know. But that's not intelligence. That's mental deterioration. That's cognitive atrophy. That's the slow but steady decline of someone who has stopped evolving, who has stopped engaging with life, who has allowed their mind to become as weak as their body, and it doesn't stop there. Another habit that accelerates aging, that drains the life out of people before their time, is the way they handle stress, or rather, the way they let stress handle them. Stress isn't just something that makes you feel overwhelmed. It's something that physically breaks you down. It floods your body with cortisol, a hormone that, when left unchecked, eats away at your health like a slow-acting poison. It weakens your immune system. It accelerates disease. It speeds up wrinkles, depletes your energy, destroys your sleep, and makes you feel like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. And yet, most people just accept it. They tell themselves that stress is a normal part of life, that they have no choice but to endure it, that they don't have time to deal with it properly. But that's the problem. They don't deal with it at all. They let it control them. They let it age them, weaken them, drain them. But the people who live the longest, the people who maintain their vitality well into old age, they don't just endure stress, they master it. They master it. They learn how to detach from things that don't matter, how to maintain a sense of calm even when life is chaotic, how to manage their emotions instead of letting their emotions manage them. And that's just the beginning. Because the reality is everything you do, everything you believe, everything you tolerate in your daily life is either keeping you young or making you old. Every meal you eat is either nourishing your body or poisoning it. Every relationship you maintain is either energizing you or draining you. Every habit you practice is either building you up or tearing you down. And if you don't take control of those habits now, if you don't make a conscious decision to reverse the damage, to reclaim your power, to stop aging yourself before your time, then one day you're going to wake up and realize it's too late. But that doesn't have to be your story. You don't have to let yourself deteriorate. You don't have to accept decline as inevitable. You can fight back. You can rebuild. You can take control. But you have to start now before it's too late.